Hello, everyone. It's Kelly Craft, and we are here today to discuss my fictional leader presentation. And I chose to do Katniss Everdeen. She's a main character in the book series called The Hunger Games, which was written by Suzanne Collins. The Hunger Games is set in an area called Panem, an American country consisting of wealthy capital and 12 districts varying different states of poverty. Every year, children from the 12 districts are selected via a lottery to participate in a violent, televised battle to the death. It's within an arena. As I said, Katniss Everdeen is one of the main characters in this series. A little background. Katniss, as I said, is a character from the series Hunger Games. She's a 16-year-old girl that plays a more adult role within her family. Her father passed away, and she cared for her mother and her youngest sister, Prim. Her mother is a very timid character. She really hasn't handled the passing of her husband very well. She suffers from depression. So Katniss has really had to step in a role for her sister and her family, really portraying a lot of strength, to make sure that her family does not starve, making sure that they stay safe and healthy. Katniss portrays strength and unwavering love for her sister and will protect her at all costs. As I said, there are 12 districts within Panem. Katniss is set and she lives in District 12, where the main industry is mining. Every year, as I said, Panem host an annual Hunger Games where the district has a female and male tribute by lottery, which are children. There is a one male, one female tribute that is chosen, and they fight to the death to keep peace amongst the districts. At the Weeping, in the first series, Katniss' sister Prim was chosen as tribute. Katniss, being her sister's protector, immediately volunteered in her sister's place in order to protect and keep her sister safe. I would say the biggest strengths that we're going to mention here for Katniss include her bravery. She always faced fear head on. She was a hunter, very good with a bow in order to help, her family eat and be able to survive. She was a very strong character. She cared for herself well and always showed compassion for others, even during the games. I would say her biggest strength also would be her loyalty to the people that she cared about. Some other strengths include, great intuition in stressful and often unsafe situations. Katniss can be very strategic and somewhat impulsive in the face of injustice. She usually is only like this when she's trying to protect others or to send a message to the president. She becomes a rising leader unintentionally, becoming an inspiration to all those in the districts when she confronts injustice. And as the series continues, she becomes more of an inspiration. She is kind of thrust forward into more of a leadership role. But I found it very interesting when she was in the first games, she became a leader there as well, inspiring those in the districts that were watching the games also. Katniss becomes a symbol for the resistance over time. She continues to play a big role in taking down President Snow within Panem. However, she really never tried to be a leader at all, as I said. At the end of the day, she just wanted to protect her sister more than anything else. And she never had dreams of being a big hero or a warrior. But as the series continued, we see that happen. When we think about her leadership position throughout the series, Katniss develops into a symbol of leadership, really. As I stated, she really doesn't even view herself as a leader or even someone she would think people would want to look up to. She becomes what is known as the Mockingjay. It's the symbol the districts use to describe her. Katniss agrees to be the symbolic leader of their rebellion, which is found in District 13. She becomes the Mockingjay, the face of the rebels. The rebellion develops and is known as District 13. Katniss leads the rebels to unite. She does this through film propaganda, filming areas of mass destruction caused by the Capitol. She shows the rebels, the different districts, and all the destruction that the Capitol has brought upon, including lots of death in the districts. She shows the other districts the strength that can become if they join forces. She's a symbol. Her face inspires others to fight in the rebellion. In the end, she had success in leading the rebellion to overtake the Capitol and bring peace and no more hunger to the districts. We think about her impacts in leadership. How was she an effective leader? What kind of traits did she portray? In chapter 7 in our textbook, it discusses a lot about leader traits and skills for effective leadership. I feel as though Katniss encompasses a lot of these traits. That is what drew people to her being the Mockingjay. Some traits she has include emotional stability and maturity. She's a 16-year-old girl that was thrust into many scary situations that were life or death, but she always rose to the occasion due to her maturity and strength. Personal integrity is another. Throughout the series, she was given multiple opportunities by President Snow and Panem to take an easier route, one that would keep her safe, one that would keep her living a wealthy lifestyle, but it would have went against what she stood for. So she led those by showing you can stand up against adversity and be successful in doing so. She also used socialized power motivation. She was able to motivate districts to unite and stand together to make change. Katniss was able to influence others to join her cause and mission. She did this through the use of conceptual skills, which, is just simply having good judgment, being creative, having really good intuition as a manager or leader, per our textbook. So, really she was able to use her intuition and know how to influence the districts to join her cause. She also had great interpersonal skills. She really understood, how those in the districts felt. How could she motivate them to help them overcome their fears? How could she communicate effectively in order to, become a leader for them so that they would trust her and trust what she was saying? She was really good at that. She also used some political skills, which was very unique for her. She really understood kind of where the people in the districts were. She was able to utilize film propaganda to show them and motivate them, showing that the Capitol really had caused mass destruction, showing the lifestyle that the Capitol was able to live in versus, all of the other districts starving and suffering. So again, she was able to really influence and motivate them by showing them, that she was able to implement change. Leaders play a critical role in boosting the spirits of followers, and that, can be marked by stress or by failure. But transformational leadership motivates their followers. We know that. Katniss's leadership is similar to the transformational leadership model. Transformational leaders implement change in views and thoughts of followers to relate to their vision in the future. So she was really effective in this type of leadership. She was able to show her followers in the districts, a vision of the way that it could be if they were able to take down the Capitol. Transformational leaders not only have a vision, but they show vision through influence, empowerment, creativity, leading by example. She was out there fighting. She wasn't just asking them to do that. She was leading by example, showing that she was able and wanted to stand with them against the Capitol. Katniss's leadership is just this. She was not only a leader in the rebellion, but she also portrayed this leadership style in the Hunger Games when she had to fight to the death. So she was able to get the other tributes to actually look to her and follow her, even though they were fighting each other. She was able to build trust and followers even during the games of survival. She also served as a role model for her followers. She had the ability to inspire others easily. She portrayed concern for her followers, made them feel cared for, made their feelings and well-being feel heard. She was a true picture of a transformational leader. Some of you may wonder why I chose to do my presentation on Katniss. I really enjoyed the series. I remember first hearing about the movie and was kind of turned off by the idea of children fighting to the death. But after watching the first movie, I was drawn to read the books. I feel like Katniss is relatable. She appeared meek and timid, but I love that she was able to rise up to adversity. I was drawn to her caring nature and overall integrity of her character and wanted to see her prevail and help others out of dire situations they were living in. Her character was very inspiring and showed she would step into leadership successfully, even though she never viewed herself as a leader. This makes her very relatable as well, as I feel some of the best leaders carry this same trait. Her inspiration to others made her a change agent. She was a visionary and helped others see that change was possible even in dire situations, and ultimately was successful in implementing that change that she visioned for the districts. Effective leaders are great at empowerment. Katniss was able to empower more and more people as the series progressed. She showed members of the districts to stand up to their fears and that change was possible. Ultimately, it was the empowerment that led to the fall of Panem and peace in the districts. Katniss also was able to use referent power. In chapter 6, table 6-5 on page 151, our book shows that referent power is gained by showing acceptance and having a positive regard for others, being supportive and helpful, use of sincere forms of integration, keeping promises and commitments, making self-sacrifices and benefiting others, lead by example and role modeling, explain why it's important to do what is needed. Katniss's leadership included all of these traits and strategies, which ultimately made the use of referent power easy for her. It worked to her benefit and helped her be successful in the end of the series. The Hunger Games is a great series with lots of amazing characters as well that too exemplify different types of leaderships and traits to be an effective leader. I highly encourage you to check it out if you haven't seen it or read the books. I find it very easy to relate the content we've learned in this course to this series. So I hope that you enjoyed it and I appreciate your attention.